Join us again next week here on the Locker Room Chat.
Let's go fishing. You know it's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes. Let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike. Floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike.
Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Let's Go Fishing Show. And as you can see, I've got my right-hand man here, old Mike's with me again tonight. And we're missing old Bill, Mike.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Missing old Bill. Bill was down at Dale Hollow this past week, and him and Paul Harrison caught some walleye, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Said they would have done real good there, but they lost 2 nights on account of the rain.
Yeah. Be down there tonight, yeah. Moon up there full like it is.
Well, that's true. That's true. Better say hello to Dad.
Definitely.
And Bill and Paul and several more people, Mike Pennington and Jeff Parrott and all those folks that's been on or came over here on the show, so far this year. And say hello to everybody out there watching the show. I know there's a lot of things going on TV that you think might be a lot better, but I tell you right now, when old Mike's hard to miss.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking forward to it. Right quick, we're looking forward to it because we got I hear there's IUOE's got their local union tournament coming up this Saturday at Watts Bar Dam, and safe light to 2 p.m., $50 per boat, includes lunker, cash only, payback 100%, registration begins at 5 a.m., day of the event, a 5-fish limit. We're going to check the live wells down there, Mike. You know how that bunch is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Oh, Lordy. There's been more text. My phone's plumb full of text messages threatening one another and all this. Don't be in my place and don't go to my holes. And, all this stuff. One of them's wanting to weigh in. So accused one of them were weighing in drum and this, that, and Mm-hmm. We've had a ball on the phone today, talking about this one and that one, doing certain things, and it's been fun. Going to have said blast off number will be your sign up number, and then they're going to have hot dogs and hamburgers after the tournament's over. So we're kind of looking forward to it. Wesley and I missed the Kingston High School Invitational on Watts Bar there a couple of weeks ago, and so we got to get started. And then they got the Bass Pro Shop first tournament of the falls at Cherokee next Saturday, so we got to get something going on, Mike.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Been night fishing now for the last 4 months. Be hard to fish in the daylight.
Yeah. Put some blinders on you.
Yeah, have to put blinders on to be able to do any good. But now listen, I just told them when we top the hill up here at Hilltop, buddy, there that moon set right on top of them trees. I said, man alive, what in the world are we going today for night fishing for? So,
no kidding.
Yeah, and Mike said, I said, I'll go well north Saturday night after we get through down there at Watts Bar. So I said, yeah, you probably will. So we'll, hey, he'll have to beat me up there is all I can say. So I'm not going to hang around on the weigh-in down there Saturday, Mike, to mount anything. Once I get the money, I'm hitting the road.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? You heard me say that, folks. Once I get their money, I'm going to hit the road. Oh, my goodness. Probably won't get a bite. But anyway, we're going to go and try it, see what comes up. Got a lot of things going on. We got a little bit of film this past weekend. Mike, let's see. It's me and you went both nights, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure was. Wesley backed out and had something going on, and we had to. Me and you went both nights, sure did. I think we put 7 in the boat or something one night and 8 the next or something like that. Wasn't very many we got into the boat. We had about that many bites that we had that we hooked and they came off, but we've batting about 50%.
That's right.
Holding, with the bites we had. So we didn't get but about 16, maybe 18, 20 hits, and so you're only going to catch half of that. So, but anyway, we got on a few hot spots there, and basically we only had about 3 places that we caught some fish on.
That's right.
Mike, they just didn't want to cooperate for some reason or another. It was dark. Let's see. See, Friday night the clouds had the moon covered up. Mm-hmm. Saturday night we got some moon,
But the wind started blowing. Yeah, sure did. And the fog was rolling out of the back of the. Everything facing the northwest was blowing cold air, and the fog just rolling. And so we made a few moves, and one time there, we was on the point there, and shucks, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. No.
And about 30 minutes later, and we missed 3 or 4 fish on that. Even the fog was as heavy as it was. We caught 2 or 3, and then I don't know, missed 5 or 6, I guess. Really, had them hooked and they'd got off. But that was they was on that point right there.
Who was?
If that wind had give us a little, and the fog hadn't have been so heavy, we might have got well right there. They was there, but you couldn't stay, couldn't keep the boat positioning just right where you needed to be, and
the wind would push you off of it, and the fog you couldn't get your bearings to see to get back on it.
Get back on it, yeah.
If it wasn't for the depth finder, you wouldn't know where you was at.
Yeah, that's a fact. And the channel was right behind us. 110 feet. And so, but we was up there in that 15, 16, 20, or 18 foot of water. And then, when you'd get swung back around, you'd be in 110 feet of water. So,
yeah, but which way did you have to go to get back to the?
Yeah, it's hard. I tell you what, it's a little tricky about keeping your bearings up there when that fog's heavy like that.
Oh, it sure is.
You can't see the bank or the outline of the bank or whatever. But within about 30 minutes, we looked back over behind us and see it was clearing up. So we thought we better hitch a ride while we could and run on down the lake. These new electronics are just out of this world. My electronic is the same thing I got on the boat in 2008. And the thing I do like about it, which the newer ones will do the same thing too, is I can hit that map and go back to trails, follow that pink line all the way to the boat ramp. Mm-hmm. And never see the bank anywhere or whatever. You know, I've done it many times. So when we get fogged in, and it sure does make a difference.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've
You know, about getting you back, it just.
wandered around in the fog quite a bit years ago.
Yeah, we used to do that years ago when we had nothing but them old flashers, buddy, and shoot, Mike and I were there one year, out during the night, and back then they dropped the water down quite a bit, and we was on the island up there at Dollar Island there, and there was a houseboat pulled up there on the bank, tied off, and so I said, let's go on down the lake, see if we can get out of this mess. And I took off, and the depth finder come back, started climbing back up, and I was just idling a little bit fast. Anyway, we was gone probably 10 or 15 minutes. I said, I see the outline over here trying to cross the lake there at Dollar Island, really is where we were at. Came right back to that houseboat again.
Mm-hmm. 3 times.
3 times. I told Mike, I said, I'm not turning the wheel. And we came back 3 times. So that 4th time, I said, sit down. I know where we're at, you know where we're at, and you know where we're headed. And so I put that thing up on the plane, and we run over there about 5 minutes or less, 4 to 5 minutes, and it started shallowing up. And when it got to 30 feet, I let up on it, and it kind of idled a little bit, and there was the bank across the lake, and we followed that all the way down to Andersonville Boat Dock.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just go out there and go around the circle and come right back to where we started 3 different times. And I said, that's something going on. So anyway, it's no funny feeling to be lost in that fog, is it, Mike?
No, it sure ain't.
You know, you don't know where you're disoriented, you don't know where you're at or whatever, but we finally figured it out. But like I said, electronics this day and time, follow your GPS, take you back right where you started from. But now, you know, that still doesn't keep you from running over a log or something like that, you know. See, anytime you're running in that fog, you want to be careful, for sure. Well, Mike, got anything else?
No, not right off. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that how dangerous that fog is, and even when it ain't out there, when that lake starts down on north, you better know where you're at, where you're going. I've seen too many of them hit ground up there.
Yeah, it's not happened in the last several years, but it used to. You know, when they get the water down, and a lot of those offshore humps would be showing up. There'd be several people running into them. You know, Sherry and I were up there one night years ago when the guy turned into Big Ridge Holler, thinking he was turning in up there to go to Hickory Star.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not funny, but it is in a way. There's a hump there on the left-hand side going into Big Ridge Holler. It's got 2 white buoys on it, and that thing was out of the water. Buoys was laying over on the dry ground. Well, this guy came up through there, and sure, and I were over on the other side of Big Ridge on the southern side, and he was just, I told her, I said, he's fixing to run up on that island. He said, what? I said, I said, yeah, he's hit that island over there. She said, let's go, you know. And I said, he was hollering, help, hey, help me, you know. And just like anybody else would do. And she said, no, let's don't go over. I said, it'll be all right. So I went over there to him. There he was in the boat. And, well, actually, he had jumped out of the boat, was trying to push it off. And he said, hey, he said, this is not the way to Hickory Star, is it? I said, no, buddy, I'm afraid you're a couple of miles short. I said, this is Big Ridge Hollow. Oh, okay. He said, I didn't know where this dry land come from. Oh, man. So he said, hey, can you help me pull it? Can you pull me off of here? And I said, buddy, I don't have a rope with me. Oh, I got a rope. And so I said, yeah, we'll give it a try. So I pulled up out of the trolling motor, and he throwed me this rope out of the back of the boat, and I eased out there and tied it onto the back of my boat, and his engine foot was still in the water, the back of the boat was still in the water. So I told him, I said, crank yours up and put it in reverse. And I said, when I, goose my engine, you kind of give yours a little gas, and we'll see if we can get that thing off there. 2 or 3 tries, and we got him back in the water. And he said, I said, let me untie your rope. Well, that dang knot in that rope would pull so tight I couldn't get it untied. I said, but I'm going to have to cut this rope. He said, hey, that's fine. Go ahead and cut it. So I got my pocket knife out and cut the rope off the eye on the back of my boat, And he said, how much I owe you? I said, buddy, you don't owe me a thing. Just be careful. I said, but you need to go on up the lake a couple of miles and then make a right-hand turn. Yeah, I kind of know where I'm at now. I said, all right. So, but yeah, we've had many people up there on that lake at night to come back to, you tell them, hey, which way is it to the dam? Well, you see, follow that steep bank right over there. There's a sign, point 19. Follow that. Stay right-handed. You just stay on the left-hand side of the bank, and you can't miss it. You'll get there. You'll go by Stardust, Sequoia, and right on down to the dam, And shucks, it wouldn't be an hour. They'd come right back to us. Hey, buddy, can you help? Yeah, can you help us? And we're lost. Oh, shucks. So anyway, I'm going to hush over that kind of business because, it's very easy to get turned around in the fog on any lake. And so a lot of people run by the the tree line. Mm-hmm. And usually you can see the tree line above the fog, and they'll try to follow that, and you're sitting out there trying to fish. You got to watch and be careful because they're coming close because they're looking afraid to get off the bank or out in the middle of the lake, afraid they'd lose their direction.
That's right.
So anyway, got one night Mike and Brad and I were up there, and this old boy put in over at point 19, and we were up in Big Ridge Holler in that vicinity again, and he cranked up, and we knew about halfway between Big Ridge and Hickory Star or Dollar Island there was a rock hump sticking up out of the water. And all we heard was wham, 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 wham. And that was it, And for about an hour later, all we heard was somebody hammering on something. Mm-hmm. But then we heard him crank up again and
went to his trailer.
Yeah. So, yeah, they've been several.
Shortened his fishing trip, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it messed his fishing trip up pretty bad, But anyway, things like that happen. Dylan, I'm going to let Mike bring you my camera and cord in there since we forgot it. And we'll get hooked up here in about 2 minutes to play some film. In the meantime, let's take a little break, will you? Hey folks, here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, that's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some four-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that in mind. Then here we get into the light truck, automobiles, that kind of thing. So just walk through here and give you a quick look at what they've got in stock here. I mean, you know, it's it's just, I don't know, man. They must be a couple of thousand tires in here right now, if not more. Sizes, shapes. You truckers, you know the word. This is the place to get your tires for your trucks. And these over here, getting a little bigger sizes. Light trucks, heavier automobiles, this kind of thing. And as you can just see back through there, it's just, heck, I don't know, this building's probably about 300 feet, one end to the other, and they're wall to wall. Remember Tim's Tires, folks. That's down here on Highway 27 on your way into Harriman, and get the best deals they're going. So give them a call, price check, whatever you want to, and if you want a special tire that they might not have, you could, they'll definitely get it for you. Tim's Tires. Hey folks, here at Edgemore Outdoors, we're going to run inside and shoot some film. Don't forget Edgemore Outdoors over here on Edgemore Road. Hey folks, we're in here at Edgemore Outdoors. Man, the place has been packed with people. The reason being because this is the best sporting goods store this side of the Mississippi River. So if you want to get in here and get you something, you better come by. See Jim and Vance and Jeannie here at the Edgemore Outdoors. They've got everything you might need to fish with, whether it be from a boat or from the bank or whatever. Rods, reels, the walls are lined with baits, tackle. I mean, just great store. Jim's been a sponsor of the show for a long time, and we really appreciate him and his family. And but do get by here and visit with them at Edgemore Outdoors. Live bait, just everything in the world. We'll just take a little quick stroll down through here. Jim said he was tired of seeing Vance on the TV every Thursday night, so he wanted me to get somebody besides him. I'll take that back. He didn't say that, but I thought about it. All right, Vance, what kind of special you got for us today?
Got all kinds of specials in here today.
Got all kinds of specials today. Anything in particular? Got a good sale on reels, rods?
We got some, we've been selling a bunch of these Corrados and Shimano SLX reels with the digital chips in them here lately.
Mm-hmm.
We got them in right and left. And
Okay.
We got a few of them right now, but it's a good reel. One of them's $189.99 and the other one's $249.99.
That's guaranteed not to backlash, is that right?
Well, you need to set the reel correctly, but when you set the reel right, it is really hard to backlash them. It works really well. We tested them when they come out to make sure that everything worked good. We got them.
Okay.
And they've been going good for us here.
Good deal, Vance. And that price on that's what?
There's one of them is $189.99 and the other one's $249.99.
All right. All right, Vance, we appreciate it. Folks, do get by here and visit Edgemore Outdoors. Can't go wrong. I think you'll be well satisfied once you come in the door. Just a minute. Now, Vance, what's this other reel you got here?
We've also got the new Shimano Metanium MGLs. They didn't have them in right hand. We got some left hands right now. We got the rights coming in. They're
okay.
$419.99. There's a price on those.
I'm assuming that's a good price from what I've been hearing that these things run.
This is one of the top of the line reels that Shimano makes here, and it's got their new Core Solid technology, and it's all one piece.
I'm glad you let me get Wesley in the truck before you drug that out. If you want one. I appreciate you, Vance. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you,
we'll
man.
see y'all Thursday night. All right, folks, we're back from a little break there. I think Edgemore Outdoors, Tim's Tires, IUOE, Reynolds Racing and Marine. Thank all our sponsors, and the new pickup we got is Gibbons Creations. That is a guy I work with. That's his daughter, and she's in high school and making her decals. As a matter of fact, these things are going pretty dang well. I don't know. I think there's probably 12 or 14 got rid of them today. So he brought me 49 in there this morning, and they was going pretty fast. So we want to thank them, and hopefully we'll continue to get these window stickers ramped on up here, and I've got to get a couple on my truck real soon. Hopefully do that tomorrow afternoon, and Mike can get that rolling.
Yeah.
Get that rolling. All right, let's go to that film, and then we'll come back and do a little. Mike can break it down for us on what went wrong and what didn't go wrong. All right, Dylan, show us the film. Back in the water he goes. That's number one, folks. Remember our sponsors. Let's go fishing. Nice night.
Yeah, got about half a moon, just a little bit over, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get after him here.
Yeah.
All right, Steve's got him a real nice one right there. Fat, my goodness, look how fat that rascal is.
Yeah, boy, Mike.
Real nice one.
That's a good one there.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Hey.
Get him back in the water. That's 3 in the boat and missed 3 strikes. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That's a good one there. Got I reckon.
All right.
Nice.
Steve missed one, then finally caught another one there.
We're getting about half and half, Mike.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. You get 10 bites, you get 5 fish in the boat.
Yeah. That's a nice little fish.
Yeah, it is. All right. Let's get another.
Still on the black.
That mouth tight, Mike.
Yeah.
You can't get them loose.
Another nice one.
Yeah. Double hooked him.
Fat rascal, too.
Yeah. Sure is. He got my jig hung in his teeth there. There we go. How many does that make?
I don't know.
5, 4, 5, 6?
6 or 7, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Let's get. There.
Another there.
Boy, they lock. That mouth is locked up, Michael. Can't get them loose.
Yeah.
They throwed my chunk off, didn't
Yeah, he did.
they? All right. I think that's number 7 or 8. I don't,
Yeah.
Something like that. Back
Yeah.
in the water.
Count them later.
Count them later, Mike said.
Yeah.
All right, let's get double hooked too. All right, there Mike is with a fish now, double hooked, yeah.
Yeah.
You done good on that, Mike.
That's it. Let's get the needle in. Get that out there.
Yeah. Sure, yeah, you double hooked him. That's the way we ought to hook them all. They won't get off on us. Yeah, that
there's the tip of it up there. Just like pull it up there and get that out. There you go. Now they can't get off that way. That's for sure. Got him in.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, back in the water. Folks, the fog has got real heavy on us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. Boy, Mike, that was short and sweet. I thought you caught more fish than that.
No.
Dang it, man.
No.
If I'd have known it'd been that short, we'd have just saved that till next year.
Yeah, they played the Houdini on me.
Dang, gun it, man.
They was there and didn't go.
Well, I didn't even get to count and see. I think it was like 7 on one night and 8 on the other or something like that.
Is that both nice, Dylan? Okay. That's all they had on your camera.
Well, golly, Mom, that wasn't even enough to. We just wasted good battery power. I mean, shucks. But anyway, it is what it is. We just didn't. I mean, we had, had some bites, but we just didn't get them.
No.
Didn't get them in. Now, I brought 2 jigs with me. This is a black with a copper flake in it. Had a black trailer on it. And then this one right here is a black and gold flake with a little bit of watermelon in the back. So that was I had, like I said, I've got had 2 of each tied up, and the other 2 still on the rods in the boat with the same color jigs on them, and that's what I was throwing. And Mike, what was you throwing?
I throwed everything.
That's what I thought. On Friday night, clouds was, they had the moon covered up. Mm-hmm. It was a little better than the first quarter, a pretty good little moon, and the clouds had it all covered up. I mean, it was a dark night.
Sure.
So the black bait worked the best. And then on Saturday night, the fog was the worst. The moon was out, but the fog coming up off the water was pretty thick in places, and most of the lake. And then, like I said, we was there and fogged out, couldn't tell where we were at, and then turned right around and looked across the lake, and you could see the bank.
That's right.
Half a mile over there. So, that has a bearing on the light situation, but we still, whenever, and what it was, we were down there next to the boat ramp, and you could see over to the right-hand side of the big ridge that is all fogged in, but there's just a clear path headed towards Bear Hole Bend. It just clear as it could be. Well, after about 30 minutes up there around Bear Hole Bend, it got so foggy you couldn't see what was going on. So we made some changes there, and the next thing you know, you could look over there and see the bank again.
That's right. Yep.
And but yeah, it's I don't know how many times we've been up there over the years, and the fog you know, cover us up. And, you know, we always thought, well, okay, we're still going to catch fish.
Yeah.
And most of the time we would.
That's right.
And other times we wouldn't. So, you know, it's if they're going to bite, they're going to bite. And if they're not, they're not. But it was, you know, you're fishing out of feel by feeling, you know, feeling your bait, because that fog kind of, you know, we could still see our line pretty good with the lights we got on the side of the boat, but I don't know what it is, you know, but you know, we went from 2 months ago, we was in the 20s and 30s in the boat, and now we're lucky to get in the double digits.
Yeah, and you wasn't seeing the bait fish in there like we had been seeing.
No, we didn't see a lot of stuff on electronics either. That was kind of a puzzlement on the deal.
Neither night we heard any fish breaking either. Well, we had been hearing fish break.
We've been hearing those big fish, whether they be rockfish, shovelbill cats, or whatever they were, muskies, I don't know. But you could hear them about everywhere you went, except for the last weekend. And we never heard a fish. Not the first one.
That's right.
I kept telling Mike, I said, I have not heard the first fish, you know, splash the water yet, you know. He said, I ain't either. I said, well, they're not active to say a whole lot. And then the week before that, about everywhere we went, when we had stopped running and set up the fish, you could hear them fish breaking water.
Sure could.
You know, out in the middle and behind you and kind of stuff like that. But last weekend, we didn't hear anything. I mean, I don't know if that little chop on the water had them messed up or what the deal was, Mike.
That's for sure.
So we'll just have to work on it. Let's see here. Talk about a little bit of something right here. Glenn Reynolds, Reynolds Racing and Marine. I told you all last week about that bullet. Bodie's got a yellow and white bullet. It's got a 300 XS on it and 35,000. I talked to Jack Dunaway, I believe yesterday, and he just happened to be there at Reynolds Racing and Marine. There we go. There's a picture of the boat, and Jack said that thing was in excellent shape. So if you're looking for a good used boat, I'd stop by there and check that baby out and see what the deal is on it. It's got 145 hours on the engine. You know, it being an older boat, I'm sure it's probably not got any warranty, but you know, if it's in good shape with this, 145 hours on one mic ain't hardly nothing. I mean, shucks, which, you know, I've got a little over 330 some hours on mine, but it's 5 years old, 6 years old. Or the 5 years run out back in April, so it's 5 years and 4 or 5 months. And so that there's just got 145 hours on it, which sounds awful good. But do stop by there and check that out. Also, too, Glenn and I talked there yesterday about, you know, with the COVID thing, there's a lot of companies that have very few workers working right now. And the boat manufacturers are one of them. The bait companies, talking to Jim at Edgemore, they've got a lot of stuff that they don't, you know, that's not available right now.
some Zoom products, and on and on. They just can't get them because there's nobody there working to make them. So,
Yes,
but talking back to the boat thing, is Glenn was saying, hey, if you think you might be going to trade that come spring or whatever, get by there and get your order in now, because he said they're running way behind. You know, if you ordered one, there's no guarantees you're going to have it come spring.
No.
None whatsoever. With this virus, if it keeps lingering and gets worse, be lucky to get anything. So he's pleading with people, if they're thinking about kind of customizing a boat, they need to come by and get with him, pick out the colors, change what you want to change, and get the order in so that you can get what you really want. Instead of taking what's already sitting around, which makes a lot of sense. If I was going to trade boats, that'd be a good thing to do. So keep that in mind. Do get by there and talk to him. And he's also got a couple of these high school specials down there is what he's calling them. They're 18-foot boat. I think they got a 115 or Yamaha on them already, I think. And they're kind of laid out, got the electronics, trolling motor. It's lake ready. And for you high schoolers.
That's the express boat.
An express, yeah. Yep, sure is. So go by there and check it out and see what the deal is. If you're, with these high school things kicking off here this fall, be a good thing to check into. So that's about the deal with the rentals there, and we'll move right along. All right, Mike, what else you got about the fishing? Anything else?
Well, not really. Like I say, we tried, at least I did, a whole sluice of different colored baits up there. And I hadn't really heard nothing on Watch Bar, but that was good to hear Bill and them talk about catching some walleye off the Dale Holler. And I know I talked to Rick a week or so ago, and he didn't say anything about them doing any good out there on the crappie at Dale Holler, but them crappie ought to be coming back out there. And Watch Bar, the crappie ought to be getting better. The water cooling on down. And now there's one thing about Watch Bar, it's got plenty of minnows and plenty of milfoil. So,
yeah.
I've heard that some of them's catching some out of the breaks down there. I don't know. I hadn't been down there to see any breaks and figure out where they're at. Whether it's bass or in there with the stripe, or whether it's all stripe, or what's going on with it. But, well, I know they talked about top water down there, from what you read on that report there the other week, talking about it. Catching fish on top water. So
yeah.
Water cooling on down, they ought to be trying to do something.
Right. Well, Mike, and I know these guys, a lot of people down there sprays that grass and tries to kill it out and all that kind of stuff. But the thing about the grass is it gives the fish some cover, it gives them some shade. So, you don't have to fish out there 30 foot deep to try to catch your fish. If you can get in the right patch of grass, there'll be several fish in it. And, but if, we just don't give it a chance to get up real good and all that kind of stuff,
And I know they were, you know, other people has the right to use the lake too. I do just wish they wouldn't, you know, spray it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's, I don't know. There's got to be a better solution.
There's more than just bass in there too.
Yeah.
And you got all you minnows that's feeding off of that grass and stuff, and which in turn brings on the other fish come in there to feed off the minnows and everything. But gives them a real habitat there. And they got them little shrimp, they call them. It's in there that ain't big as nothing, 1/16 of an inch or something like that, a quarter or eighth or something. Just all kinds of them little varmints running around in that grass that them fish eat and stuff. So it just it's a food chain for all of them in there. And that's where the fish usually get bigger, because they don't have to exert themselves so much swimming and trying to find something to eat. It just comes to them in there, you know.
Yeah. There's always, I mean, we fished that grass in Milton Hill and Gunnersville and Chickamauga. It's you know, and there's always some activity going on.
They sure is.
And I mean, it's just a good place for the brim, the minnows, the everything, you know, all kinds of fish in there. And so when you got all of it in one place, that's the way it happens, you know. But yeah, we just got to, you know, we get it going good, and and we want to kill it. And I understand around these docks, you know, around their dock, but but when you spray it around the dock and you've got 100 yards out there that's been killed too, away from the dock, then you've a little overdone it. And it's supposed to be regulated, you know, by a certain group in the state of Tennessee, and you know, how much is enough and how much is too much type deal. And I understand those people with docks around and grass growed up, you know, the milfoil all around the dock. That's, you know, I can understand wanting to clear that out a little bit, but then when you spray it there, next thing you know, it's out there 100 yards.
It is.
And so did we put too much or what?
Yeah, you know, poison's poison no matter what.
Exactly right.
Gonna keep on building up in the water till, you know, pretty soon the water won't be fit to drink or swim in or nothing else.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're kind of, I guess you could say we're kind of fortunate right here. We had all that, what was it they said on the news there, this past week we're 16 or 18 inches above normal
18, yeah.
rainfall for our area this year.
Yeah.
And it seems like that so far, you know, we've been, the last few weeks, we've had quite a bit of rain, you know, so we're just continuing right on where we left off back in the spring, seems like. But that's, I don't know if that's the most over normal rainfall that we've had or in the middle or what, but it seems like a whole lot, about 18 inches above normal for the year, and still got 3 months to go. 4. So anyway, fish got to have plenty of water, Mike.
That's for sure.
You got to have that water. There's no two ways about it. We'll just have to see what's going on. Anything else about the fishing trip that you think of that we haven't mentioned?
No, I mean, you know, like I say, we've tried small hair flies.
Yeah, you was throwing a black hair fly. Sure was.
Never got a strike on it.
Never got a bite on it.
So a lot of different colors and different combinations. Didn't seem to make much difference at all. And, like I say, mostly it was just getting on the right spot seemed like more than anything.
Yep. I won't argue that a bit.
I ain't saying that they wouldn't fish on them other spots, but we sure didn't get them to.
No, they was good. Yeah, I thought we stopped about every pretty good place that we knowed of, but they just wasn't there to bite it or didn't want what we was throwing at the time. But I mean, them was all good places that we was fishing on. We caught a lot of fish on them before.
That's for sure.
For sure. Just didn't seem to want to bite very well for some reason or another. Lay them jigs right back there. I don't know. You know, it's just fishing.
That's for sure. I mean,
without a doubt.
One trip you go up there and it seems like the lake's just plumb full of fish. You catching them everywhere you go, and then the next trip you come back and you can't get hardly a strike on any of them places. May find one or two that you get a bite off of. Makes you wonder where they all went to.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Let's see, Mike. Dylan, take us to the IUOE commercial break there, and we'll come back. Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TDA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, whether it be Barnhard. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Right. Okay, Mike, we're back. Mike,
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your new trolling motor.
Well, it's Alterra from Minn Kota. It's self-deploy. I got a controller here with it, got the paddle with it too, of course, and spot lock, and you know, it's got so much on it, I ain't figured it all out yet, but I can get around a little bit with it. I'm reading and learning, trying to figure it all out. But, it's a pretty neat trolling motor. Like I say, it's been rigging on it, you know, had it kind of temporary on there, didn't fix anything permanent in case I wanted to change something on it, you know. And, had to make an adapter plate to put the trolling motor on to where I didn't have to drill more holes and stuff like that in the boat to make it all mount up.
Yeah.
Everything but getting it all rigged out, and got one that would tie into my depth finder that I had, and stuff like that, and figuring out where I needed to route everything and locate everything, the heading sensor and all that stuff for the eye pilots, and which that's got more stuff on it than I know what to deal with on that. But supposed to have waypoints and all that stuff. You can bring it back to it and constantly follow contours or go over the path that you was on. If you want to go back over it, it holds you in the same position down through there and stuff. So it just quite a bit of stuff to it that I ain't read enough to figure it all out yet. But like I say, it's got a lot more buttons than the telephone, and it's a lot smarter than I am, that's for sure. But it'll take me a while to figure it out. But once we get it figured out, I think I like it even better. But, it's a little bit different, the steering, after being so used to that feel you get with the foot paddle and the cable, and then all of a sudden it's just touch it a little bit and it goes to the right, and touch it a little bit and you heel and it comes back to the left, and you know, you ain't got the feel that you do with a cable, but it just takes a little while to get used to it, I guess. But, I'm pretty well tickled with it. We get it all finished up and rigged out and use it a little bit.
Yeah, I want you to get it all lined out, Mike. Without a doubt here. Before I get in the boat with you, I don't want to quit no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
I don't think it's going to quit, folks. It does look pretty good. It's interesting to see how it's going to work out. And like I said, you know, these things have just got so much high tech, and it deploys itself just like he said, and it's got a lot of features on it. That's all I know. So we'll see how that works out, Mike. What do you think?
Yeah, like I say, it's a pretty good power on it. I got the 45-inch shaft and an 80-pound thrust, and they've got them with a lot more thrust if you want it, and longer shafts if you need it. But it's got that trim feature on it, where when you deploy it and put it down in the water, it goes back to whatever you had it trimmed at. In other words, you can set the height out where it's just barely under the water, or all the way down, and stuff on it. If you're in shallow water, you know, you can bump it up. You don't have to get down and undo the screw and like I did on the others, and pick it up and tighten it back down for shallow water. It makes things a lot more simple.
Okay. All right, Mike, that sounds good. We'll give you another few days to you've got another week to get all the details both out of it and let us know how it's going. Folks, we've got a couple more minutes left in the show. We got these decals we're going to be offering up here in the next few days. Like I said, I had 49 of them brought to me this morning, and several of them done gone. Different colors, you know, we're going to be white, silver. Got a nice looking green one, sticks out pretty good, really well. The white does, the red. We got some more colors coming in, so kind of, you know, get my phone number there, and we'll try to get you set up with one. We do want to sell them. They're $5 a piece, but I'll get them on my truck here this weekend and take some pictures. I'm thinking you're going to be wanting them. So anyway, be safe on the water. God bless you all, and we'll see you next week.
Country Fresh Foods. You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store, Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts in Oliver Springs, a division of Country Fresh Foods.
Let's go fishing. You know it's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes. Let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind. Floating on